There's a lot of my viewers who are wondering how I managed to find people willing to pay over $50 an hour for my time as a freelance web developer. I found a lot of high-paying clients in the past. Even in my first years, I've been able to find high-paying jobs. And that sounds weird for a lot of freelancers because a common experience for new freelancers is that you try to find jobs, maybe on Upwork, maybe in your local area, and you look at how much they're willing to pay, and you look at the numbers that I'm saying that I can make, like $50 an hour, $85 an hour, and all these numbers that seem bigger than what you can get in your local area, and you're confused. And the first thing I want to tell you is that the problem that you have, the reason you probably struggle to find high-paying freelance jobs is not that you're using the wrong method necessarily for finding freelance work, although for some people that might be the case. I think the biggest problem for most people is just that you're looking for clients in the wrong places. It's going to sound possibly too simple and obvious for a lot of people, but the prices of freelance services are based on offer and demand. And offer and demand depend on where you try to find your clients. So the reason I've been able to find high-paying clients pretty fast in my career, all the way back to like 2018, 2019, 2020, like when I was starting, I was still able to find very high-paying clients. But that's because I already knew that I needed to look in the right marketplace to find high-paying clients. So if you're going to find clients in a place where it's very competitive, where the average pay is low, well, you have to be really, really, really good at what you do to be able to find people willing to pay you a lot of money. And, for me, the reason I was able to find high-paying jobs early as a beginner or roughly a beginner was because I went to a place where the average pay is very high. It reminds me of, for some time I struggled to find a girlfriend. So I looked at videos on how to get a girlfriend. And, one of the guys said, one of the things that mattered to him was the physical beauty of women, which, it might be shallow, but at the time I was very interested in women for their appearance. One of the things he said was basically, even if I'm bad at trying to get a girlfriend, if I spend all my time going to the clubs where all the women are beautiful, it's going to be more effective than being really good at talking and really good at dating girls. But I try to get girls in places where most girls are not beautiful. So the marketplace you go to, the place you go to, and the types of clients that you have there really matters a lot, more than your skills skills matter a lot, but the place you try to go matters equally, if not more. So for me, what I've realized is that if you go on freelance marketplaces like Upwork, Fiverr, and other websites like that, there's a lot of clients looking for freelancers. But the problem with clients looking for freelancers is that they're shopping around. Okay, you can get jobs on these platforms. They're fine platforms. I do teach how to find jobs on these platforms because I know it's what a lot of people want to do, and it's a completely valid way to find freelance jobs. But one of the things that you need to understand is that if you try to go on these platforms, the clients who are going there are clients who are shopping for freelancers, which means they're probably going to look at the proposals of many freelancers. So they're going to consider your hourly rate, this person has hourly rate. Well, this process is likely to bring prices down, or the average amount of money they're going to pay. And it's much easier to go toward clients who are not shopping right now for services, but although they're not shopping, they know that they have a problem that needs to be fixed. We're web developers. I'm a web developer, so I make websites. So it's very easy for me to find companies who have bad websites, and I try to contact them directly, because when I contact them directly, a lot of people, they know they have a bad website. They want to have their website fixed, but they don't really want to go shopping. They're busy. They're doing other things. They're procrastinating about the task of trying to find someone who can do the work. So if I contact them directly, there's a good chance that I'm going to be the only person contacting them at that time. And there's also a good chance that they are going to feel like hiring me on the spot is less annoying to them than trying to go shop around to find other people, because I basically fix their problem without them having to do anything except just give me the job and pay me. So finding clients who are interested in your service without being actively shopping around allows you to find people willing to pay higher amounts of money, because they're not going to compare your prices to other people in a lot of cases. There's also the fact that in different countries, when you contact people directly, the amount of money they're going to pay you is roughly related to how much your services are worth in that country, in that area. So if you try to contact people, for example, in a rural town in India, maybe there's businesses there, but the web developers there probably charge a lot less money than you if you're in the United States, and the average yearly salary there is so low that if you try to ask them for things like $5,000, maybe they can't pay that, or maybe they're going to find that outrageous because it's so far removed from what they're used to paying for similar services in that country, or what they expect these services to be worth. And so that's why what I recommend everyone to do is to find countries where they pay a lot of money for services, but the laws are set up so that you can contact them from your country anywhere around the world, and you're not going to get in trouble for that. What I recommend is that you just try to find clients in Canada or the United States, because both of these are countries where the laws for emailing people are kind of loose. You can contact them without too much trouble. It's easy. The laws are very easy to follow. So what I did is I tried to find clients in Canada, in different towns around the province of Quebec, close to me. You can do this in English Canada or the United States. It doesn't really matter. What matters is how much they usually pay in that country, and how much they expect services to be worth in that country. So what we did is we contacted a lot of businesses that we found who probably needed a website. When I say we, I used to do that with a partner. We did this as a team. He would help me find the jobs, and we'd do that together, and we'd then do the project together, do the websites. He helped me with design. I did more programming. But that's beside the point. What we did is we basically called businesses, or we emailed businesses, so that we offered them our services and tried to get them on future sales calls. And when we called businesses directly, the first contact, whether it's email or calling people, the goal is always just to schedule another time for them to call you, so that you have more time to speak about it, sell, because people don't want to be sold to right now when you contact them. So what we did is we tried to find businesses on Google and Facebook. These are really good places where you can find different businesses in different cities. You can just search for maybe masonry or flower shops, and then just the name of a city. For example, if you want to target Montreal, you could just write flower shops Montreal on Google or on Facebook. And then you try to find businesses who have Facebook pages or websites on these sites. And when you find their Facebook pages, then you go look on their website. And once you find their website, you look at whether or not you feel like they probably need your help. It's probably obvious if their website is really old, and also if their website is ugly. They probably need design services. It's also very likely that you might be able to see if they have security issues and that sort of thing. So if you do like more back-end or cybersecurity stuff, maybe you could look into that and try to offer them that. But essentially the point is that you need to find the websites of businesses in your area, and Facebook and Google are really good places to find that. And once you find their website, usually there's their email address or their phone number on the website, or you can find it on their Facebook page. So finding people to contact is very easy. You can just filter out those who seem to not need your services and only contact those who look like they need your services. It's really that easy. The thing that people might struggle with is their ability to approach these people in the right way. If you say the wrong things in your email, you might get people mad. You might also not get responses. Maybe you're not persuasive enough. Maybe you don't look professional enough. And if you decide to cold call people, you also need to be good at cold call. But email is easier for the first contact. But then whether you get the first contact through email or via cold call, what happens after that is that you're going to have to do a job interview or a sales call, which means that you're going to have to you need to know how to handle that sales call well. So there's some skill involved that's necessary for you to look professional enough for you to sell your services well. It's not that hard, but you do need to know some things. And the way I learned these things was that at first I struggled to find jobs as a freelancer. I've told this story many times before, and I basically gave up on freelancing and I decided to get a job in a web agency. And there I decided to go with my boss during client meetings to listen to his sales calls, to help him during his sales meetings and that sort of thing. So I could learn how to do the selling through speech. And then when I went back to freelancing after I quit that job, I had the skills I needed to be able to handle the sales calls and write good emails. And I knew what I needed to know to be able to do this well. And there's not a lot of things to know, but you have to know them. And if you'd like to know them, I do offer a course that teaches how to write emails and how to do the sales calls and how to do the whole process of finding freelance jobs, step by step. I also sell my email templates if you'd like to just do it really easy and just have email templates that you can use that I made. You can get them as well. Both of these I sell on my website. Not very expensive, but if you'd like to support my channel, that's definitely a way I would appreciate support. I'll put a link to it in the description if you want to check them out. So yeah, that's how I find freelance jobs. Like, the most important thing is that you choose the right people to contact, and then that you have the basic necessary knowledge to contact them in the right way. So yeah, I hope this answered your question. And with that, I wish you a lovely day.